Oh yeah, I saw a live thing pop up.
Yes, which means we're now recording, Juno. Yes, we're now live. Juno Temple, how did you feel about joining Vinyl?
I felt pretty excited about it. No, are you kidding me? I was beyond excited. I was so thrilled, and what a cast, what a team of people to be behind a TV show, what a time era, what a subject matter, just like, yeah, everything all around. Everything was something I was excited about.
There was so many thrilling aspects to joining it. What was the most thrilling? What was the thing that excited you the most?
I mean, getting to shoot a pilot with Martin Scorsese directing you was definitely something that was a pretty exciting prospect. But I also think getting to do a whole TV show set in 1973 was something I was really into. I've always loved the 1970s, so that was really exciting.
With Martin Scorsese directing you, I imagine that's the first time he's directed you in anything, correct?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there anything about Marty that surprised you about the way he directs it?
He's amazing because the energy he has is like, I don't know, it's more than 10-year-olds put in a room together, and that to me was kind of magic. You know, the energy he brings into a room is something that is quite inspirational. Even post lunch, you're feeling a bit sleepy, you know, and he comes in, he's like ready and raring to go, and you just have to keep up your energy in the same level as him. And then I think he's incredibly intimate with direction. Everything is between you and him. You know, he will come up to you in between takes, and his direction will be happening specifically between you and him, which I really appreciated that. And I mean, not that this surprised me, but his knowledge of film is mind-blowing. And he would do this amazing thing where every time you spoke about films, which happens all the time with him, films and music, but any films you talked about, and they could be, it doesn't matter how obscure, how old, how unviewed or whatever, a copy of that DVD of that film would be in your trailer about 20 minutes later. So that was pretty cool.
Is there a film's DVD that ended up in your trailer?
Yeah, there were a few of them. And he gave me an amazing collection of all Powell and Pressburger films. And then he got me a print. One of my favorite films as a kid was called Dr. T. No, I don't remember if it's, I have to look at it now. The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, or Dr. T and his 5,000 Fingers. But I used to love it as a kid because there's this incredible, it's a 1940s film, and there's this incredible sequence with a giant piano with a guy that dances on the piano, and I just used to love it. And a copy of that ended up in my trailer, so that was really cool.
That is really cool. It's like, it seems like whenever you see Martin Scorsese like in an interview talking about film, you can tell how passionate he is for movies.
Oh my god! Like, I mean, lives and breathes them, and it's like an encyclopedia of film. You know, it's kind of amazing. It's pretty extraordinary thing to be around.
Yeah. Tell us about your character, Jamie Vine. How would you describe her?
Well, sorry, I think I just have to quickly get a tissue. 1 second.
That's fine. No, don't worry. No, grab it.
Yeah, right here. Going into my kitchen. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold. My character Jamie is to me so cool because she is ambitious and she's feisty and she's hungry, but she's also smart. She's got the brains to go along with what she's with the footprint she's trying to leave, you know. And I really thought that was cool, and I think she's willing to do whatever it takes to get her foot through the door. But I also think she really passionately believes that music is something that can change people's lives and can make a real difference. And she really wants to be a part of that world. And you know, it was so great in the pilot. And it was the scene when she goes to see the nasty bits, and you know, she's young, working at American Century, but she goes to see this gig and she sees this band perform, and she takes in their performance, but also takes in the crowd that's watching them, and the crowd themselves actually aren't really enjoying the gig. You know, they're furious. It's creating this kind of this mad sort of revolt against the performance. And in that moment, she watches them play and sees this visceral reaction and thinks, yep, this is going to be an important band, and I really think that they could, I don't know, be something big or whatever, however she thinks about it in her brain in that moment. And it's kind of the first time seeing punk rock, isn't it? You know, and I think that's her being open to a band that aren't just going to necessarily cause a reaction where everyone says, oh my God, I love them, they're my favorite band, but actually it causes a sort of crazy reaction in people that is kind of revolutionary. And that's what punk was. You know, not everyone liked punk, but it made you shut up and listen to what these people had to say, because of the feelings it made you feel, the anger it could create, and the revolution it did create. And I think it's pretty cool that she's got an ear for that, because I'm not sure anyone else in the office would necessarily have thought the Nasty Bits were a band worth signing. And I always thought that was really cool about her.
How do you think you, Juno, are like Jamie?
I definitely think I have hunger and passion and ambition with what I do. I think I hopefully have the brains to go along with the footprint I want to leave. I think I'm ready. I don't know, and I feel Jamie has this too, for sure, that I'm really happy to be a woman, you know, and a woman that has the balls to go into a room full of men and feel just as important as that room full of men. And I think that's something I really like about Jamie, and I do think I have in common with her. I also think we both really love music, and we both really love cool clothing. But I do think I spend a lot of time in my pajamas, and I think Jamie would never be caught dead in her pajamas.
Yeah. How else are you not like her, other than the pajamas?
I mean, I don't think I would ever say that I would do anything it takes to get my way. You know, I'm not gonna like necessarily. If I was to sign a band, I wouldn't necessarily start sleeping with the lead singer. I feel like I also have a very different upbringing to Jamie. She's got a very complex relationship with her mother, her and her mother are so different. And my mum is one of my best friends. You know, I'm very, very close. I'm lucky I'm very, very close with my family. So I feel that's a real difference for Jamie. I think we're both pretty streetwise. I think, who else are we different? Oh, those are the differences that immediately jump to mind, actually. The family stuff, and not being ever caught at a coffee shop in your pajamas.
What do you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment from the season of Vinyl?
I thought episode 7 I loved so much. I thought that episode was so cool. Favorite scene. I love the whole sequence in the pilot where Richie walks in to see the Dolls playing, and he walks up that staircase, and the visuals of, I don't know, a guy, whether he's seizuring or whatever is going on, but he's covered in glitter, and the glitter kind of going everywhere, and then the amazing costumes when Richie gets into that performance, and the guys that played the Dolls, I thought they were really, really, really great. I loved that moment. What else was some of my other favorite scenes? I liked I liked some of the sequences where they did them as kind of long one shots. You know, I think it was in 4. There was a really good sequence of going through the office where everyone kind of came in and out of a scene, and it felt really fluid. I really liked that. And I mean, I liked so many moments. I thought just visually the way the show looked was so gorgeous, and the costumes and the set dressing were just so brilliant in my mind. I really, really loved watching that. I think it was cool because there are so many things that you're not a part of that when you watch the show as a whole, you get to see all these people who kind of became like your family do these incredible scenes that you read on the page during the read through, but you hadn't been a part of. So you were also getting to be an audience member, which was really cool.
Why did you love episode 7 so much?
I don't know. I just really loved it. I thought that whole thing with Elvis was really cool. I thought that was a really, really great sequence. I really enjoyed that. And I think Ray Romano was really, really great in that episode. And so was Bobby. I think they've got a really cool friendship that I really enjoyed watching throughout the show, because it's very very tumultuous and pretty brutal by the end, you know?
What scene or what moment was the most challenging for you as an actress?
Well, I was making this joke earlier actually with someone on the pilot. I turned 25, so that's obviously a quarter of a century, and got directed in a pretty intense sex scene that Marty told me after the rehearsal I had to do completely naked, that I couldn't wear anything, with Mick Jagger's son. That was pretty nerve-wracking. But I think every episode came with a challenging moment. That's what was cool about all the characters, is none of us had a walk in the park journey, you know? The scene with my mum, which I think is in episode 5, I think, where my mum had to speak Polish to me. I had to try and understand some of her Polish. That was pretty challenging. And also that was just kind of a tough scene to do, because it was sad to me, this scene between a mother and a daughter, with a daughter trying to impress her mother and trying to make her proud, and her mum just won't have it. And she's like she's telling white lies to try and put a smile on her mum's face, and she just won't give it to her. That was definitely a hard scene.
It's also like quite interesting, like as you say, like you're in a relationship this season with Mick Jagger's son, but not just Mick Jagger's son, the creator of the show and your boss's son is in the series. What was it like acting with him this season?
Oh, I had a blast. He's become a really good friend of mine. And I think, we wanted to create our own universe. We wanted people as an audience to really, really like us together and think we would be a great couple together. And I think also it was an interesting challenge between the two of us, because I think Jamie and Kip do really fancy each other and they really dig each other. But Jamie also knows that he's a golden ticket for her. It's a work thing. So playing with that emotion of like, damn, I like him. No, I've got to keep it professional. No, I like him. No, I've got to keep it professional. And that was kind of a fun dynamic to play with. I had a great time with him.
Yeah. How do you think Jamie grew over the course of the season?
Well, I think she gets more confident because people that maybe are higher up in the pyramid have more faith in her, like Julie and Richie, and she gets more confident because also the nasty bits trust her. So she builds that trust with a band, which means that she can kind of get them to listen to her, I guess, and prove to her bosses that artists can trust her and that she has a good way with her artists, and that she should be promoted. But also, I think it was very apparent in the first season that she wants to be promoted, and they're not going to do that quickly for her. They want to have that be a slow rise up into the American century, I don't know, hierarchy. And I think she probably grows in a sense that she allows herself to get more involved with a guy than she probably has done in a while, I think. I also think she gets a reality check at the end where she's being a woman of 1973 and exploring her sexuality, and it ends up kind of fucking her, you know, because she gets fired from the band that she not as depending on, but has put all this time and effort in with, and knows that they're the reason why she could get a promotion. So I think that's pretty scary for her. So by the end of the show, I really felt like she'd gone up, and then there was a pretty big crash for her, you know?
And what was that like, that final episode like to do, and also where do you think that's left your character for season 2?
What was that? The final episode was great to do. Because also it was an interesting thing where, you know, she goes to this gig and the Nasty Bits playing like huge gigs, 14 New York Dolls, out of them, but it's kind of emotional. And also, I think at the very last moment of the episode where they mess up the office and they decide to create, or Richie creates Alibi Records and celebrates the Nasty Bits, that's kind of like a heartbreak for her, isn't it? You know, she's like left hanging with this band that they are her band. There's no two ways about it, and she's left without them. But then Richie gives that speech about how music is so important to him because it really got him through things when he was a young boy. It helped him through his journey of life, you know, and helped him drown things out that didn't feel good, or stimulate things in a happy way that did feel good. And I think she really relates to that speech. And it's just a reason that it just reminds her of like, this, I do belong in this office, I belong in this industry because music really does matter to me. And then where do I think it leaves her? I mean, it leaves her with, so, you know, there's so many different things that could happen, you know, who knows what's going to happen. I do hope she keeps fighting to be just as important as the Richie and the Julies of the world in American Century and Alibi. Hopefully she finds another great band.
Yeah. And do we like, what do you have a moment from the season, like an off camera, like an on set fun moment that happened with anyone from the cast?
I mean, I had a pretty embarrassing thing happen where I split my jumpsuit open. I bent over and I ripped this black silk jumpsuit I was wearing, and no one's entirely sure how long it had been ripped for, but the on-set photographer actually was the one that busted it, and it was pretty exposing. So that was a pretty good moment. I remember I was shooting with Jimmy that day, and he found it pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I think when you have that much time with people working on a show and developing characters, there are lots of silly moments between you all. You know, you start creating this kind of language that makes sense to you all. I'm so excited we get to go back for another season.
Yeah. Now, you said before that you and Marty both shared a passion for music as well as movies. What's your favorite band?
See, that is an impossible question to answer. Like, favorite band of I don't think I can pick one favorite band. At the moment, I've been listening to a lot of the Magnetic Fields on I've got a vinyl player over here, and I've been listening to the Magnetic Fields a lot. I love Tom Petty, I love David Bowie, I love the Stones, I love Iggy Pop so much, Iggy and the Stooges, I love Lou Reed, I love the Modern Lovers, I love Blondie, I love Nirvana, I love Hole. Like, I can't pick one band really. I mean, I listen to music all the time. I can't get through. It's almost like I probably feel a bit wonky if I didn't have some music playing.
What was your first album or record or audio cassette or whatever it was?
My first CD I went and bought was actually Dr. Dre Chronicle.
And have you ever had a moment where you've just like sort of like your character in the show, like you've discovered a band and just gotten so excited from either seeing them perform or listening to a CD? Do you have any like memories of discovering a band?
The first time I really felt that was when I was about 11 and I discovered Blink-182. That was like the first time I hadn't heard of a band, and suddenly they came with full force, and I was like, and I loved them so much. But yeah, that happens to me on a quite regular basis, I guess. You know, I love that's something that I really get excited about, for people to I don't know, open my doors to new music. My brother recently introduced me to a guy called Jonathan Fire Eater, and I can't find anything except like an EP, so it's only 3 songs, but they're really great. And they're an older band too. I also just got introduced to talk about today's music to Christine and the Queens, and I definitely really dig her. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Definitely.
Yeah. And your other passion is like movies that you shared with Marty. What's the first movie you ever saw?
A film called La Belle et la Bête. It's a Jean Cocteau version of Beauty and the Beast. I was about 4, and I had chicken pox, and my dad put that on for me. Or at least this is the one I really remember impacting me. And I had crazy chicken pox, and I was being a little nightmare about them. And he put this movie on, and I just couldn't. I forgot I was itchy and scratchy. I was mesmerized. I got the poster in the background here. Whee.
Ah. Can you say something for a second, Juno, so it just goes on your screen?
Yeah. Here. La Belle et la Bête. There it is.
Oh, that's so cool. That's
yeah,
so cool.
Love that one.
Yeah. The first movie I ever saw in a cinema, so not on DVD or video, was the Disney Beauty and the Beast.
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't remember going, but I believe that was the first movie I ever saw in cinemas too. And I got told that I made my godmother. We went and saw it once. We came out and I said, "Can we go see it again?" And we went in for a second time. So, but I don't personally remember that. That's a story that's been told to me.
Oh, that's cool. We've got the same first cinema movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last question. What do you think, like, if you had to describe Vinyl as a series and what you think that series sort of encapsulates, what would you say?
I mean, for me, it's really about music, It's also about relationships between different people, and especially with Richie and Richie's relationships to the people he loves and he works with. And it's about drugs, and it's kind of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, Juno Temple, thanks so much for talking to us today about Vinyl. We wish you all the best of luck for the Emmy Awards. How cool would it be to be nominated for an Emmy Award this year?
I don't. Yeah, man. Woo! I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, I hope Vinyl gets some nominations for sure. I really do.
We think Bobby looks like in not a bad position. The Emmys have loved him over the years in a whole number of roles.
Yeah, I feel like he might get a nomination too. And I also think Ray Romano was so extraordinary on the show. He was so great. And Olivia Wilde. I mean, I thought everyone was great, but those 3 were pretty sensational. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's always hard with new shows to know how they're going to be received. Like, because it's just like, it's an untested show. Like, you know, we know that, oh yeah, Game of Thrones will get nominated this year because it got nominated. It's been nominated every year, sort of thing.
I don't know if you watched season, is it 5 of Girls, the most recent one?
Yeah, no, I did.
God, such a great season of television. Such a great season.
Yeah, I've never been it's never been my favorite show, Girls, but I really like season 5. I don't know if it's because it's growing on me. Yeah.
Good point, man. I really thought it was brilliant season of television. Yeah, I really was kind of blown away. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's really good. So it's hard with the new show to know how it's going to do. But the thing we think with Bobby is he's got nominated sometimes for shows that don't get nominated for other things as well. Like, it seems like the Emmys really enjoy him. So hopefully him and hopefully you and hopefully others will get in. So all the best. And all the best for season 2 as well, Juno. It was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about. We got asked back to do season 2.
Yeah, whatever happens with the Emmys, you're back for season 2. So that's cool.
Emmys would be nice, but whatever. It's about the work, isn't it? So the fact we get to go back and do it again is, that's the cool shit.
Yeah, nah. Thanks so much, Juno.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.